Hello, everyone. Hello, dear chess friends. Hi, Boris.
Hi, Maria.
We are with the legendary Boris Gelfand, who participated 6 times in the candidates tournaments and was the winner of candidates in 2011 and was the challenger for the crown in 2012. Many tournaments winner and the super grandmaster for over 20 years. He was in top 30, and if I'm not mistaken, it's already more than 30 years that you are a grandmaster, Boris. Am I right?
Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. Yeah, but okay, that time when I became grandmasters, already, when I was awarded this title, I was already in top 25 in the world. So that time it was
slightly different order. Yeah,
slightly different times, less possibilities
to travel to
travel to play. Yeah. Nowadays, okay, before Corona, it was much easier. We'll see what.
Yeah, now soon we probably can become grandmasters online.
Yeah, we'll see how long it would take. We will be locked in this. Yeah.
Yeah, we will see. And now we can watch the tournament, which we all are very much anticipating. Today is the second day of the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz tournament. And unfortunately this year it's not an over-the-board event like it was before, and I myself very much miss it to not be going to St. Louis.
Yes, but okay, let's we'll understand why it's going this way, and let's hope next year this tournament and other top events will be, at least a big part of them will be resumed in normal format, so we'll be able to enjoy it as we did.
Yeah, definitely. And we have already a lot of people in the chat who are eager to ask you questions.
Yes.
But I want to mention that we have a Grandmaster Alexander Rustemov in the chat who is saying greetings from Minsk.
Yes. Greetings to Alexander. Greetings to Minsk. Good old times when I lived in Minsk. Okay, we used to analyze chess together with Alexander. We spent quite a lot of time together, and good to greet him. Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, you can ask your questions in the chat. We will be happy to reply, but let's move on to the games itself, and we have probably the treat of the day is Magnus against Levon Aronian.
Yeah, of the round, I would say.
At least of the round, yes.
Yeah, at least of the round. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, great games. I'm happy Levon seems to be in a good form.
And it's also King's Indian, which is always exciting.
It's Grunfeld, I think. I think it's Grunfeld.
Maybe they transposed?
No, well, it says Grunfeld. I don't know.
I judged it from the start. I thought, okay, then it was d5 immediately. Okay, then it became
d5 immediately. It was Grunfeld, but Levon played some strange move, knight g4. Maybe, time when I played Grunfeld, I used to go with a knight to d7. I had a very interesting game against Hikaru Nakamura. But now Levon played on g4, and it looks a bit strange for me, but maybe he analyzed it as modern engines. Maybe they say it's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, the first move that comes to mind is, of course, h3, which pushes the knight to h6.
Yes, and it's played, and now it's time for Magnus to think. Because Levon, I think, as a typical Grunfeld, so black will try to play c5, whatever happens. But the drawback is that, knight is on h6. I don't know why he didn't go to d7. As I remember, it was a good move, and I myself got a serious advantage against Hikaru. But okay, there's a lot of theory, but okay, their knight supports c5 and also can go to b6, while on h6 I'm always afraid. Of course, if he'll be lucky to get him through f5 to the game through f5, it's great, but I'm afraid that one day Magnus would one moment will be able to play g4 and
if the
lock
knight
it
is on
forever.
f5, then but also if it goes to f5 after g4, it will have to go back. So
yeah, well, for the moment he'll attack d4, yeah, but okay, if White will manage to find some tactic or will be able to protect it in indirect way, it's after g4, knight will have to go back to h6, and black will lose a couple of tempes on top of that.
But also probably since Levon did not play to d7, he's maybe planning to play to d7 with another knight, but then this knight will be cutting off the bishop from defending the f5 square.
Yeah, and that would be too slow. I think Grunfeld is an opening where black has to play very energetically. Very energetically. I played it by myself a lot and I analyzed it. And, you know, if White will have time to consolidate, normally White has center, so it will be in White's favor. So the concept of Grunfeld is to attack center. And seems that with knight on h6 is not easy. I don't know, I will play c5 here, or at least consider, or knight f5, because if White plays some in some quiet way, okay, it's going to be unpleasant. And Levon started thinking,
So now
not a good sign for him,
White maybe also has an idea to play bishop e4 if the bishop is not on b7 to...
Yes, definitely. Also after bishop b7, he can go bishop e4.
So maybe black will play bishop f5 themselves too.
But White can play bishop e4 anyway. And okay, then it's difficult to get control on c5 square, and if he'll not do it, it's...
Yeah, then the White is having a lot of pressure in the center, Yeah,
also knight is on h6. I don't know if Levon, got confused between lines, okay, he is trying to remember his preparation. We'll see soon, Let's look maybe on the other boards.
Sure. So we have Pentala Harikrishna against Jan Nepomniachtchi. Actually, Harikrishna finished yesterday on first place after 3 games. So it's a very good start.
Yes. He won a good game against, not really good game, but okay, he won against Alexander Grischuk. I think, it was...
Typically for him in the end game, Harikrishna is very well known for great play in the end game.
Yes, he has very good technique, but basically he's a strong player in other parts of the game as well. He is plays very solid, very clear chess, and he got this type of position today as well.
Yeah, not a very good day for Grischuk yesterday. We still remember that game against Levon. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
This C4 move,
game,
it's so difficult to find it.
Sides.
Yeah.
Sorry?
The C4 move that Grischuk has missed. It's very difficult to see that move.
Well, but okay. The question is if he still had time. If he still
I think it was about a couple of minutes, maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, then maybe if he has 5 minutes plus for such a player like Alexander, it shouldn't be a problem to find this move, because he is so quick. In Blitz he is amazing, and he sees the things so quickly. But also the later part of the game, I analyzed it today, and okay, unfortunately, so many blunders. But okay, I think it's hard to find balance, because in some games I see that the players are starting blitzing from the first part of the game, and okay, already at move 10 or 12, their position is really bad. Or if they play in more solid pace, then well, maybe they don't lack some time for the decisive moment of the game. So when I play rapid chess, I think it's the biggest challenge, to find the balance, not to overspeed, because, okay, if you overspeed, you can get in trouble, and then you'll have to, solve difficult problems the whole game, and also not to, to keep some time for the end game or the middle game. So, but here they have 25 minutes. It gives them more freedom than if they have like 15, what we have in most of the tournaments.
Yeah, probably the only trickiest part of this format is that it's only 5 seconds increment, while I think we're all used to at least 10 seconds increment in classical rapid. Like normal.
Are you sure it's increment and not this
delay? You mean like American delay?
Yeah, American delay. Yeah.
I didn't.
I really don't know, because in US it's normally delay.
Yeah, and it was also hard for players to adjust to it. Have you played with this delay?
No,
format?
never. I never played with delay.
Yeah, I remember that.
I understand the point behind it, but I don't know. I never tried.
The point is that you cannot gain a lot of time by playing fast moves.
But
and
okay,
at the same
you
time,
cannot get much anyway, because when you already, down to seconds, if you make few moves quickly, you repeat moves, you get 20 seconds, okay? Doesn't change, in my opinion, doesn't change the situation much.
It's probably, it does not really matter which time control is used, but maybe having more or less the same time control across the tournaments would be simply easier for players to get used to, because already you need to change the time zone for the event, which is very difficult, for example, for those who are not from the US and they go to play the St. Louis event, or even now it's pretty late for Europeans, right? And then you also need to switch from 10 plus 5 to 25 plus 5 to...
I always suffer from it. I cannot say I suffer, but okay. I find it's pretty difficult to do it, Each tournament, and okay, a few years ago, we had also some tournaments without increment, even classical. So sometimes you have increment, sometimes not, sometimes you have 5 seconds, sometimes 10. So
also, do you have increment after move 40 or not? And we remember how even Magnus lost on time because he simply forgot or didn't know.
Topalov,
Yeah,
but Magnus or Levon found this knight d7 trick, but it looks really dubious to me. I think he misplayed something. I don't believe it's his preparation. I think with some... but okay, let's maybe have a short look for other games, because okay, of course this is the central game of the round, but other games are also deserve serious attention.
So what is happening in Nepomniachtchi?
I think he is...
Pentala has bishop pair, but...
Pentala has bishop pair, and I think Pentala has a very pleasant advantage. And okay, bishop on f1, I think it's very well placed because it doesn't allow much counterplay.
And the knight on f4 is well placed, but it doesn't really have any threats that it poses because of the bishop on
f1 is so solid that
it controls all of the...
Controls all over. And the bishop on d6 is very strong. He played c5. Now I think White's task shall be to consolidate and to prevent counterplay. But I don't see how black can get any counterplay, because if they'll play knight e6 and switch a knight to d4, oh, he didn't play it, but
yeah,
okay.
He decided to develop the queen, which makes sense because the only probably bad positioned piece for white is the queen on a3.
Yeah. And if queen is 3 white, black has bishop h6. It would he would target target white. So white has to find how to consolidate now in order to because black wants to play e4 or something, in order to prevent it.
In order to prevent e4, so the rooks, maybe there is a possibility to lift one of the rooks. Yes, interesting idea, rook c4.
Rook e1.
Yeah, rook e1 makes sense.
Rook e1, yeah, it's good because rook has nothing to do on d line. Bishop on d6
is defended
covers
by the
it well.
Yeah.
And if e4, he is ready to play knight d2 and attack e4 pawn. I think he is doing really. I like white's position.
So
e4?
He did play e4. So maybe after knight d2, black wants to play knight d3, force in exchange of the bishop to the knight and put the pawn on d3.
Yes, I think it's the best. It's good, but if he'll take and play rook e3, then bishop d4 will come. Yeah, he has to do something like this.
So if this happens, and then he could play knight e4, yeah, and then queen d5 is forced to keep defending the pawn on d3. Yeah, so there will be some play against this pawn.
Yeah. So let's have a look at other games in the meantime. Maybe Jeffrey Xiong against Alexander Grischuk. I think Jeffrey somehow lost a pawn. Something went not so good for him, yeah? Maybe he can still, after, no, but after Alexander would take, I think he wants to play knight c4 with an idea to trap he would play knight c4 with an idea to bishop d2 and trap a queen.
So now the queen has to leave. So maybe queen b4 is forced.
But queen b4, he'll play bishop d2, take back on a5. Okay, he is...
so the queen will have to go to a4.
Yeah, but okay, a4 or b7 he can go. But white would get a pawn back and maybe with equal position. So Jeffrey didn't blunder, everything is good, so just equal position. Well, this, I feel it's strong drawish tendencies because, it's already, position is simplified. And both of the, both sides doesn't have any substantial weaknesses. But of course, game would go on, can turn into an interesting game.
Yeah, maybe black has some ideas with d5.
Yes, so bishop a5, like d5, white will take, knight d5. Okay, black is doing well, but also I do believe that white also
their bishops are pretty strong. So after knight d5, some bishop f3 and...
Bishop f3, black would play something.
Probably has
but
to
okay, my feeling that they would somehow liquidate. Because both sides has normal position, but nothing really special.
Yeah, so black has control over B or even A file, and white has counterplay with two bishops, so it's probably balanced.
Okay, I think it's very comfortable for black, but also white with two bishops, I don't anticipate that they may get into a trouble.
Shall we look at Nakamura Firouzja?
Yes, interesting. This Carlsen, very original pawn structure. But I think that Hikaru is doing okay. Hikaru kind of attacked e7 pawn, and I don't see how to defend it in a comfortable way.
Yeah, all the pieces are heading towards the king.
Yes. Probably Alireza made some inaccurate move, because I remember it's a theoretical line, and it was considered that black is doing basically okay, but
maybe knight c7 was inaccuracy. Maybe he had to move the king from e-file.
Yeah, let me see.
The previous move, yeah. So maybe maybe here
maybe
something
he
like
underestimated it. Move the king or
d7.
bishop f6 to protect, because now
White still has some comfortable play with like maybe knight f4, knight e6, but at least the pawn.
Yeah, I would prefer white definitely here, because black has a lot of weaknesses, and basically black has to be very accurate, because one inaccurate move and he'll be lost or in trouble. While if white would have some inaccurate move, okay, still more or less balanced position.
Yeah, and this knight c7 might have been the first worrying sign. Now he has to give up one of the pawns, either e7, which is probably immediately lost, or maybe e6, and he's losing the g pawn then.
Yeah, take bishop f4, take, but also let alone he'll lose a pawn, he'll be left with a lot of other weaknesses.
Yeah, dark squares are pretty weak here, despite having a bishop.
Yeah, and so pawns, more pawns will fall. I think position is hardly holdable. Maybe bishop f8 here, but okay, looks really horrible. Sorry.
Yeah, also maybe still taking, and then bishop f4. This knight it really doesn't have any good square.
Yes. Something would fall. Something will fall.
Yeah, the rook will come to e5 and attack these pawns, f5.
Yeah,
and
another
h5.
rook would come to e1. White has very comfortable position, and okay, it's not relevant now that also I think black has 10 minutes less than white.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's really relevant here, because even if he'll have 1 hour, I don't think it's possible to find a solid good defense.
Yeah, and of course this type of positions is so comfortable for Hikaru. He loves to play such kinds of positions.
Yeah, but everyone likes, when we'll win a pawn without a counterplay, and the opponent has a lot of weaknesses. Everyone will enjoy it. No risk whatsoever. But it's true that Hikaru has good technique to convert it, He rarely misses this, such a possibility.
Yes.
Also, okay, knight has no good square. So if black would protect, he can simply take and rook e5 and take all the pawns.
Yeah, that's what probably will happen. This bishop on f8 is very weak. The rooks will be super active. Yeah, this doesn't look good for Alireza. Shall we look at the game of Wesley against Linear?
Yes, Wesley maybe just briefly, okay. This open Rui Lopez, typical position. My feeling it's more or less balanced.
Yeah, this
black has no problem whatsoever, but also I don't foresee that white can get into a trouble.
Yeah, pretty solid play for Wesley so far.
Yeah, but also in the Fischer Random, some games he played too solid, I think. He is world champion, and I don't think it's official or not, but in Fischer Random, but he played, I think, way too solid in this event.
Yeah, at least in Norway it's official that he is the world champion in Fischer Random. What do you think about Fischer Random? Is it?
I never played the game. It will be very interesting to play it.
Not even just online?
Yeah, but maybe it's a good idea to find a friend to practice with him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe we can have you play online sometime.
Yeah, maybe. It's interesting. I never played. I think the most when I look at these games, what's really interesting that okay, after move 15 or 20, we get normally to more or less, regular positions, but how to set the pieces from really original setups, this is real mastery, yeah? How to get harmony between pieces or destroy opponent's harmony.
Mm-hmm. And I guess you need to remember some, at least, principles of the certain positions, because according to evaluation, some of the positions give big advantage to either side, to white, which is hard to play against. So
yeah. That may be a drawback, yeah.
Yeah, I think in the World Championship they dropped some of the positions because of that. They were not.
They dropped. Good.
Yeah, because they only went for the balanced ones.
What I saw in this now in St. Louis Fischer Random, that normally it was very playable positions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe they also went for the same combination, getting rid of.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, something happened in the central game.
Yeah.
Levon, I think bishop e6 was a mistake. He provoked the opponent to play d5.
Yeah, but maybe his position was not good after knight h6. I don't think his position was good anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because bishop e6 maybe it's too much, but also whatever white will play bishop e4, he will exchange, have full control on position. So too often, people try to complicate matters in such position, trying to mess things up, because probably he realized that if the game would go a regular course, Magnus' technique would be good enough to convert. Mm-hmm. So he tried to mess things up, but I think he missed something.
Yeah, so here the idea after d5, knight d7 was, of course, if white takes on e6, then it's knight c5, and black takes on d3, maybe with queen, maybe with the knight, and it's a playable position. But of course, in chess, you don't have to take the pieces. So bishop goes to b1, and this bishop is in trouble. So he had to destroy his pawn structure. And now this center is so good.
Yeah, also he had to give up a pawn later on. Mm-hmm. I think his position is in plain ruins here.
Yeah, e6 fallen, and it's really
but I think it's already out of desperation, because players kind of believe that the opponent's technique,
mm-hmm.
Player of anyone's caliber in this tournament will manage to convert, so they try to.
Yeah, so this knight g4, the ninth move was already
yes. Probably.
Yeah, knight d7 is.
He kind of really confused something.
Mm-hmm.
But interesting development in Harikrishna Nepomniachtchi game. I think Xiong played this part of the game very well and took over initiative. I think he made all best moves. e4, knight d3, takes, knight e4. Okay, he played knight e5. Maybe kind of, I don't know why Hari took, because rook c d1 seems logical to me. But also probably he wanted to simplify position, but it's clear that it can be only in black's favor with such a strong pawn on d3. Still knight blockade, so nothing dramatic happens, but really clearly
Sorry, I
It's,
just had this.
Sorry?
Yeah, sorry, my cat just made so weird noise.
What did? What?
Yeah, she just ran with the ball in her mouth and was like making really weird noises, and now she's just
But
playing.
she's okay.
Yeah.
She's okay, yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like she was not okay.
Yeah, no. I always worry, because my cat, she takes different things, plays with them. But okay, so far, she didn't did anything stupid.
Okay. Yeah. So, in a couple of moves, just the position changed so much.
Still something, yes. Still she is.
Yeah, she just destroyed some
Maybe you'll
stuff.
show us. Maybe she can say something to us, like meow.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe she can join the stream at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boris has a very nice cat. We're still eager to see her.
Yeah,
Kosher,
but she's,
like.
she's has independent nature. Yeah, okay. It's not easy to catch her and to force her.
Yeah.
Only to my son. Yeah, my son can do whatever he wants with her, but with us, she's pretty strict.
And she's also too big to insist, right?
Yes. So well, she's 5 kilos. So
Wow.
So we can, theoretically, we can do what we like. Yeah, but when necessary, we catch her. But okay, why to do it? Yeah, she's a free nature. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question was, why did Harikrishna take the knight on e5? I second this question because the bishop on d6 looked really good.
Yeah, because I think kind of panicked. Maybe he thought that black wants to play d2, knight d2, knight d3 with a fork.
Mm-hmm.
And if rook cd1, probably he was not sure about knight c4. Mm-hmm. And also again, if queen d3, knight b2 with a fork. So he was kind of afraid of all these tactics. But I think it's a very big concession. After bishop takes e5, only black can be better, and black is better. Mm-hmm. While here he had to maybe allocate more time at this moment and think what to do.
Yeah, maybe here he could have played something like queen b4 and then queen to d2. But of course,
queen d4 seems like a good move. Placing
queen in front of a pawn is normally considered not the best way to stop the pawn.
Yeah,
you want to have the knight there.
Yeah, but in this circumstance, okay, then, but with queen on d2, maybe f4, maybe a threat. Mm-hmm. But because knight on e5, it's not stable. Mm-hmm. So what white had to do here is to find the defense against the immediate threats. But knight is jumping. So
yeah, you also have some ideas like knight g3 maybe, and if you push queen away, then d3 is hanging.
Yeah, but maybe there is some square. Bro, I'm sure knight g3, maybe queen g5, and then d2 is... So I think knight on f4 is well placed. So we have to, find good positions for big queen and for rook. Because normally it's a good idea to play with pieces which are not so good, well placed. Yeah, rather than to improve position of a piece which is already well placed. Well. Now I think he's in trouble, no? I mean Harikrishna.
Yeah.
Pawn went to d2. Okay, it's nothing dramatic yet, but clearly
maybe
much
queen d3. Queen d3 is coming. Ah, yeah.
Queen d3.
He played on
queen d3 was interesting. Yeah, Queen d3 challenging move because, okay, rook will become active, maybe will eat some pawn, and also an idea rook c3, rook c1.
Rook c3, rook c1, rook a3, the rook is too active, yeah.
Yeah, but probably Jan is believing that he'll improve his position and maybe rook d3, rook f3, mate him somehow. That pawn on d2 is too strong. But also it's strange he didn't think, yeah? It was possible. He had 13 minutes, and it's a good point to think, yeah, to exchange queens or not.
Yeah, also Nepo has so much time on the clock.
Yeah. If he'll think 2-3 minutes, he'll may come to better judgment. But also, now, okay, rook d3 seems very tempting for me. What white can do.
Okay, so maybe he thought that his queen is slightly better than white queen, despite being on f6. And
yeah, also king cannot come, because when queen will be replaced, white king would come to e2 and protect the one rook. And with the queens on the board, king will not be able to do it. No, I think he is enjoying. He's got good position.
Yeah, and he has more time, so he is allowing his opponent to make mistakes.
Yes. And Hikaru is winning at the meantime, and Magnus is winning, and so let's maybe turn our attention to a game between Jeffrey and Alexander, because it's interesting game. Probably Jeffrey kept on playing ambitiously, and now I don't know how he can keep material balance.
Yeah, so what exactly has happened here? I see that Alexander did not play d5 because Jeffrey played d4, and now this...
Jeffrey played d4.
And the center is a little bit weak now.
Yeah, he weakened his center. Probably he misses quite move rook c8, and now I don't know how to protect it, because unpleasant move. Of course, he can play something like queen d2, give up one pawn, and still he has very good chances to save the game, because pawns on one side, and he has two bishops, and if he'll exchange rooks, it would make his task even easier. So queen d3, but rook c4. Isn't rook c4 possible?
Yeah, rook
queen
c4, queen c4, queen a5, giving a rook for two pieces will probably be...
Okay, rook d1 he'll play, but still two pieces. Okay, I would rather give up a pawn.
Yeah.
And try to defend this position, which seems pretty defendable for me, generally. Very unpleasant to hold, but still holdable, I believe. And now I don't know.
Yeah,
okay, probably he wants to change character of a game, yeah?
Yeah, he definitely did not blunder this, even though it does look like a blunder, but...
No.
He instantly played rook d1, so he knew what he was going for.
He was choosing between two evils, and he decided to stick to this one. But I don't know, because how black can advance. I would try, I don't know. It would be very good for black to provoke white to play d5. So one knight may go to c5, another to f6, attack e4 square, also get attack on the black squares, but I think it's not so easy to do. So
something is happening. Magnus is winning in this game, definitely.
No, Magnus is, it's 2 pawns up and winning a piece, and
yeah, this knight here is in big trouble. So this is desperate, and yeah, Hikaru is also winning here.
Hikaru is winning, and it seems that Jan is also okay. He made his plan. Yeah, he activated his rook, and rook c1 will be next move. And there is nice tactic, because if knight d2, maybe the simplest is bishop d2, rook d2, rook c1, check, king h2, and queen f4 fork. g3, queen takes d2, and okay. Queen e5, king h6, no more checks. So to be sure, it will not be perpetual.
Yeah, in the position before white played to queen e4, he had rook e8, quite a simple tactics to exchange the rooks.
Yes, but still, it is
unpleasant.
Better than what he did. But Jan would take queen d3, maybe play queen b2, attack all pawns.
Then you probably have to play queen b3.
Queen b3, yeah, I don't know. Let's say queen c1, and then try to rook e1.
But then we have knight g2.
Rook e1 doesn't
because
work.
rook e1 doesn't work, because knight will go to f1. Maybe, maybe
so
he missed that.
Queen b3, yeah. So maybe
it's still unpleasant, but yeah, we have to
take b3 and rook e4 to go to beta endgame, but still it's not lost. It's worse. It's much worse, but probably holdable.
Yeah, but after rook c3, of course, it was already very hard to defend.
Now, rook on c1, the deadly threat is queen a1, for example. Yeah, and now, okay, he's winning a piece, so the game is about to finish. Magnus finished his game. And yeah, well, in the meantime, Wesley sharp things up, yeah? Let's have a look at his game. Suddenly, all his pieces went into attack, which is a clever idea, yeah? Probably after queen d3, why Lanier didn't take with a rook? Knight f6, nice tactic, yeah? Takes, queen g3, king h8, e f6. And queen is attacked, and queen g7 mate is attacked. So he took with a pawn, and rook f5. Suddenly, Wesley built up a very dangerous and really nice g6, rook df1. Really beautiful move. Really beautiful, because if white will take, black will take, then knight f6. King g7, queen queen g3 maybe is the simplest, and queen h4, and we mate. Can build up an attack, and now, okay, not so easy for Lanier to defend. King g7, if knight g5, gf, queen f5, rook h8, knight f7. Seems bad for black. Or queen g4, maybe queen g4 even.
Yeah, knight g5 is probably crushing.
Knight g5 is I think, because knight f6 doesn't create so many threats, but knight g5 does. And if h6, he will simply take on f7.
Yeah.
Probably Lanier missed it. Probably he had to make some move like h6. It's hard to make it, but
because knight f6 is coming as well.
Knight f6, king g7. Okay, it's nothing to do, but at least f7 pawn is safe. And with this pawn on place, it's difficult to break through, yeah, for white. Let's see, interesting.
Yeah, this is looking very good for Wesley.
Yeah. In the meantime, let's see. Jan won. So both of the leaders are lost now. And Jeffrey
Magnus won as well.
But Jeffrey, okay, he is trying. I think if he'll exchange queens, probably defense will be easier for him, but because he has this d4, e4 pawns are weak, so it will be, easier for Jeffrey to protect these weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Grischuk probably will move the queen away.
Yeah.
And yeah, simply just maybe play h3 and wait for what the opponent will do. Do you think Grischuk will move the knight maybe from d7 somewhere else to e6? Maybe via f8?
Sorry?
How to improve position for black here?
How he will improve? I don't know. He thinking to exchange queens or not?
Oh, okay.
He's
so he decided to exchange.
Said to exchange, yeah. To exchange, okay. He relies now on his technique, yeah. Now he also without queens, white doesn't have counterplay, but also, okay, black minimized a bit his chances.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants maybe do the same, yeah, to provoke white to play d5, then put knight on c5, then he may prepare and play f5 in a good circumstances to create weakness, and then white bishop on c6. For the moment, it kind of has a duty, yeah, to protect e4 pawn, kind of cut the knight, but so he will try to, cut it from the game, and with three of his pieces to build up a deadly attack.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay,
let's see
so
if he'll
he decided to play
e5. E5, yeah. He wants to exchange.
Yeah, to freeze the rook up, right? Because the rook was stuck defending d4.
Yes, but also, yeah. Let's see if he'll succeed.
So now after d takes c5, d takes c5, knight g4.
He wants to play f4. He wants to exchange as many pawns as possible.
But then Grischuk might play g5 immediately to...
Yeah, g5, maybe he'll play g3, trying to hold.
Take,
or maybe he'll take on
weakness.
g5. No, I think take on g5, maybe bishop e5, g3, but then something like this, try to hold.
And then knight e6, and we will try to take the g5 pawn.
Yeah, but he played knight h5. But basically, the more pawns exchange, the easier is the white's task. Yeah, because let's say, imagine that all the pawns are taken from the board. Position, it's a draw. So he will try to exchange as many pieces, but likely now he will lose e5 pawn. Because g5 is a very clever move. Next move will be knight g6. He will take a pawn on e5. I believe things are not going well for Jeffrey.
Yeah. Yeah, so Grischuk definitely knows how to proceed here with a game plan.
Yeah.
And so we still have Wesley game going.
Wesley, yeah, but really, yeah, I think Lenier admitted he did something wrong. After knight g5, he played king g8. But queen h3 definitely. He continues to attack h5. And here a very nice move, queen g3. So gf, knight e6 and mate in 2. So d3. Played Lenier, knight f7. Pawn is hanging. He checked, king h1.
Now maybe king g7.
G7, okay.
Or do you think he will take?
But probably he can take.
Maybe he's going to take to give the queen for 2 rooks.
Yes, but I believe it would be okay if he'll be able to consolidate, because then d2 and passed pawn. But I have a feeling that white.
It's very hard to build a fortress here.
No, if he'll play d2, he will be okay. But white's to move.
But now
queen
f3 and
Queen f3, but still queen f3, because king 8 is not possible because of queen c6. And king g8, he will play queen f6.
And if king e7, also queen f6, and then probably e6.
Yes, 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 yes.
And
White
e7.
has to be very energetic here, because if black would be to move, he'll push this d pawn, and okay, then white have to be careful. But still, things are not easy here, yeah, for white to find the win. Queen f3, but still king g8 to e7. G8, e6, d2, queen f7, queen f6. So maybe king e7, but then check, king d7, again e6, king c8. If e7, he would take and play d2. But then white most probably will somehow take pawn on b5 and maneuver queen to d1. Wow, wow, really?
Yeah, it's a long sequence.
But he played king g8, really complicated and long sequence. He carved one in the meantime. And,
so now white still can play e6.
White maybe has to play e6 now, because d2 would allow queen f7 and queen f6. So e7 probably clinches again, because if rook would play rook f8, he would take on d3, and it's no chance to build a fortress.
Yeah, now we already have a threat of queen f7, queen f6 winning a rook.
Yeah, yeah.
So rook f8 is probably forced.
But queen d3, then the game is over.
Other way to...
It's very far from being a
fortress. King g8 is probably not the best.
No, but also, okay, there I think he saw it. Okay, maybe he didn't see it because he is down to seconds, but he felt it's a wrong way. Yeah.
So he went to h7, and now after queen f4, yeah, he's losing.
He's about to resign. He's about to resign.
So we have the last game going still.
Yes, but this game may be going for quite a while. Maybe Jeffrey would play h4 here to exchange some pawns, yeah?
And he did. I think he did play
gh, rook h5, gf3, maybe take with a pawn or with a king. So, okay, I think it have to be winning, but not easy. Also, we have to remember that two knights doesn't make a king. So, certain moment it would give white some possibilities to give up an extra piece. Yes, he did it, played it. He took his f pawn, as we said, knight c4.
So how to proceed for black here?
Not so easy. He has to maybe to attack g3 pawn. It's far from easy.
Yeah, the rook is so active.
Yeah, but he will have to play slowly. Maybe first to activate a bishop, to bring it to d6.
So maybe e6 and then bishop d6.
But also I will make it now, because pawns never go back. Okay, first I would bring bishop, and then to see if e6 have to be played. Then try to activate another knight. Black's goal is now somehow to attack g3 pawn, so white would have to play g4, because if he'll protect with a rook, then he would take there, and knight and two pawns will win against the bishop. So to provoke g4, and it would give another nice square for a knight like f4 and things like this. But basically for the moment they're shuffling pieces around, not so easy.
Yeah, but black improved with the position of their pieces.
Black is improving, maybe knight g7 now. Is it the knight
f5?
f5, yeah, or h5.
Yeah, he did play it. So now the rook will have to go to c3 to defend the pawn.
But then knight.
But then the king coming.
Yeah, he would simply take on g3, and with a knight and 2 pawns, he will win.
Mm-hmm. So how to? Is there any way to do counterplay?
I don't think
you
so.
You cannot even target f7 with like bishop b3 because everything is so
too
protected.
Slow. Knight f5 already. Fork is threatening.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
and
whenever
taking on g6 also doesn't help.
No. Then it's pretty easily won. Probably it has to do it, but then.
Oh, but now he blunders a rook.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he blundered the rook.
Yeah. So the round is over.
Yeah.
5 decisive games.
Yeah, it's very hard to defend this position, so we cannot really blame.
Yeah, it's much easier to play than to defend.
Yeah. And we have a lot of questions in the chat.
Yeah, sure.
So the questions mostly are related to your books.
Sure.
First one is, what rating range are the books for, your books?
Well, the up is Magnus, but basically I know he's reading, at least first one he told me. And okay, other Vladimir, Kramnik, Kanishkiri, and many other players told me they were reading and learned a lot. But also I think for a club player who wants to improve, basically there's a target audience.
Mm-hmm.
Because
so basically there are a lot of everyone.
Yeah, but for everyone who plays chess, but also who wants to improve in chess.
Mm-hmm.
If someone just not interested to improve, I don't see a point, yeah? Okay, he may enjoy the games and the beauty of some positions anyone can enjoy.
Okay, I think the sound was gone for a moment. I'm sorry. So I think the last thing that the guys heard was when you were talking about the end games, how to improve in the end game little by little.
Yes. That's what I said. That let's say a lot of things are discussed. Let's say slightly better position,
Mm-hmm.
not only in the end game, or slightly worse. How we should defend and how should we advance? Shall we advance? And also end games, how we have to defend and what we have to do is a stronger side.
Mm-hmm.
Because very often, let's say engines, a lot of things are paid attention about engines, because engines are showing us moves, but they don't explain the things behind.
Mm-hmm.
Time and again, their conclusions from a practical point can be misleading.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say engine can say that at certain game, someone made a decisive mistake and move, let's say 60, whatever.
Yeah, this famous red color move, yeah.
A red color move, but maybe there at move 40, player had totally normal position, but he played mistake after mistake, and then move 60. He had to find a sequence of 5 only moves to save a game. So for us, it's obvious that the mistake was not on move 60, but much earlier. And
that he already was in position, it was so difficult to defend.
He put himself in a situation where only, miracle or magic could save him. So, and we discuss it here in these books, we discuss it and we show many examples when it happened.
So which book would you recommend to start with, in the order that they came out, or?
Yes. In order as they came out, first positional decision-making, positional chess. Most of the readers appreciate this book most, but also dynamic decision-making, let's say, Anish Giri told that he liked it more than the first one, and some other.
But it of course depends on the players themselves.
Yes, also everyone can find some useful things, but also we are constantly working on, on the structure, on our 2 new books. We tried, to underline some things, more clearly. So, and to underline few times. So important messages we want to send to chess players, to our readers, they would be underlined better, so to make everyone's task more pleasant.
And how to study the book in the best way? Do you do it with the computer or with the physical board?
No, I think it's better to do it with the pieces, but also, try to understand, because our goal is to, to give a tool for players to learn, but everyone have to ask himself a question: why it's this, why it's so, to check with his own feeling, if he agrees with this. If someone doesn't agree, then he can go through it again or send a mail to the publisher, and we'll try to answer. So we'll try to understand things by himself, because every player is different. So which seems, let's say, may seem obvious for one, can be totally, alien to another. And also for some players, things everyone may disagree, may see chess differently. So we give everyone just a tool to learn.
And so you are also answering the questions yourself if the readers have something they did not understand and they want to clarify.
No, basically I think we'll go on, and basically we make a lot of, not a lot, but some, seminars and things like this where we answer. But if something really, if anyone, let's say, refutes our analysis or ask some concrete thing, okay, so everyone is very welcome to write to publisher, and in next editions or in translations, book will be translated at least to Russian and likely to some other languages. We'll mention it, and we'll thank.
There will be adjustments.
It will be, we'll thank everyone who will contribute and ask an improvement. So also, so we'll be very happy to get such a feedback.
But did you have already such feedback from top players? Did one of them tell you that they think something needs to be changed?
Yeah, they say that certain things they agree, certain things they disagree. But basically, some things they said that, okay, it was new for me, and it was, they felt it, but it was really clearly explained. But of course, every player has a world of his own, Some players may think that things, but we had discussion, let's say this. I remember with Magnus after first book, he invited me to have a training session with Norwegian national team. And what surprised me is that he was present from first minute to the last one.
Wow. So he he wanted to have a training session himself, but he used the players to
no, he wanted he could
to cover.
call me, but also I think he wanted to contribute to his young colleagues from Norway. But also I remember some things we improved, and then because also I think I showed some games which from the second volume which had to be out, and we included it definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And now also before third and fourth books went out, I had showed this some of the materials with my online camps.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried always to mention there were a lot of quite a few, let's say, improvements, and I try to always mention. Sometimes I wrote, it was a group online camps, and I wrote a name who suggested from a group, but my handwriting was so poor, I couldn't identify.
Cannot identify your own handwriting.
Handwriting, yeah. I remember one of two guys, let's say, suggested, but then I couldn't remember and I couldn't identify. Yes.
Yeah, guys, write emails, but it's the best. The emails don't burn.
Yes.
Yeah, but we have a lot of feedback already, I actually see also not only chess questions.
About my cat or what?
No, any comments on Barcelona's transfer window?
Barcelona, yeah. No. My point of view is that, this management has to go. And now, I know they sign a petition, to make new elections, but I'm a member, but I can do it only if I'm in Barcelona, so I cannot join.
Mm-hmm.
And 1,000 votes, 1,000 signatures are missing, and today it's the last day, or tomorrow it's the last day. But I think it's total chaos, so we'll see. I would like to have Thiago back, because he is available now, it seems so. But let's wait what will come, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they need you in Barcelona too.
Yeah.
So the feedback was from Alexander Rustemov that he basically read your books on strategy and tactics within a few days, and it's by far the best chess books he has read in past years.
Well, thank you, Alexander. Thank you, and please. Two new books are already in print, so they have to be available within very soon. So I hope you will also go through them and enjoy them. And when possible, I will be happy to discuss it them with you.
Or maybe after they are out, we will give it a couple of weeks and can do another stream where. We can have live feedback by people.
Yeah, sure. It seems that, this lockdown would be okay. In my country, from tomorrow it's total lockdown again for 3 weeks. So many things, it seems that in some other countries I see that also situation is not good.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have some online chess and we'll have time to have streams. And
yeah, that's great.
I don't foresee that we'll return to, pre-COVID situation pretty soon.
Yeah, it's very tough to. Well, the countries will have their own path, of course, but
yes, situation is different.
Yeah. So probably anyone below 2,700 can learn, but I think anyone can learn. So
I think anyone, up to 7, and I think if you're 1,800, I think also you have a lot to learn. And it's not like maybe some analysis one can say it's too deep, but it's again another layer. It's like a general discussion, how decisions are taken, when we do right and when we tend to make mistakes. I think this is also maybe as important part of the book as chess analysis.
Yeah, maybe positional decision making can be slightly too tough for players under 2000 rating, but you still can find things that you will find useful in your games, and of course you can also come back to this book later to read it again. And
I don't think it's. I think okay, you can learn something, and then when you improve, you can go through it again, because there are different advices and explanations how the strong top players take decisions, and anyone can learn from it. Yeah, even if you don't see the result immediately, it will definitely improve your chess.
Okay, so we have another question. How do you think about the things that you put in the books? Like, do the ideas kind of come to you over time, and with experience, or it's mostly like inspiration when you analyze some games or your own games or other games? Do you have some structure here?
No, it's a very good question, because my very difficult thing is to find the structure of a book. I sometimes say a message I want to send, but also also to structure, to underline, and it's my co-authors helps me a lot when he asks proper questions, because very often, especially in the first book, but also in this one, I showed him something, and then because it was natural for me, but he asked a question from a perspective of a student or a club player who wants to learn, who wants to understand. And very often he forced me to explain the things very deep, and then it was put in the book. So, but also sometimes, you analyze position and you cannot stop, and you go deeper and deeper. So the material dictates the structure, Let's say fourth volume would be about major piece endgames, rook endgames, queen endgames, and rook and queen. And but rook endgames, it's a world of its own. Some positions we started to analyze, and maybe it took us, 50 hours for maybe even more for one endgame, because time and again we were finding new suggestions. And then when I showed to my students on online camps, they kept on improving, and sure the readers would find some improvements as well. So it's really the depth of chess pushed us, but also some concepts which I wanted to share with the readers.
Well, of course, rook endgames are the most common endgames in the chess game, and also so much material is already out there, which also impacts how you structure your book, judging on the experience.
But also, most of the books dealt with the positions, while we try to deal with methods. That's why it's pretty new. But also, I think, let me check. Give me a minute. But also, I think each day, I get new and new, game of top players where things go wrong in rook endgame. So, the more this also pushed me to pushed us to go for this book, because certainly, I analyzed some, was following online some tournaments, like in each day, let's say 27 plus players were making grave mistakes in rook endgames. So I really understood that it's so complicated part of chess that it's worth writing a special book.
Did you have players sending you their games, specifically knowing that it will be interesting for your book?
No. I will be happy. I will be happy.
Okay.
I will be happy. We are still now thinking. Okay, we have some ideas about the future volumes, but okay, and I'm kind of for the moment selecting materials. But basically, I think it will deal with some pawn structures and some, typical for certain openings, which I played through my career. Let's say, chapter on Grunfeld, chapter of, I don't know, couple of chapters on Sicilian, on Catalan. So if someone has something interesting, I will be happy to receive.
So yeah, you guys can send me.
Yes, maybe you can send to Maria,
and I will
and
forward.
if she would forward to me, and if I promise I will check, and if I'll find it's interesting, I will include it. Or if you can also have some rook end games or some queen end games are pretty simple, yeah, much simpler than rook ones. If you have rook end games, also please send. Probably in the next editions, it will be a place for it.
Meanwhile, the games are now on. The second round
very
is
good,
on.
very good. Maybe just 1 minute. I'll refill my water and I'll be back.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll just send. Okay, I'll be back in
Okay.
refill my water.
Okay. Yeah, the sound is working. Really interesting insights from Boris. I'm afraid some of the questions we did not even ask yet, but he will be back now. Yeah, if you guys have some questions that you want to send to Boris later, if you want to send some suggestions for his upcoming book or for one of the books that you have read and you have some comments on it, you can find me on Discord and send me your comments and feedback there, and I will forward it to Boris and he definitely will read it. So currently the games are on between Linear Dominguez and Magnus Carlsen. We have Alireza Vasiliso with some Petrov, quite known to be a drawish opening, but we'll see how it will develop. Then some Grunfeld here, semi-closed between Grischuk and Nakamura. Yeah, this probably will not be too sharp here because of the closed center style. And Nepomniachtchi Xiong. Not sure what happened here.
Yes. So I'm back.
Yeah, so some interesting games here.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, Grischuk Nakamura, it seems like it's gonna be not very sharp here.
Yeah, but okay, it's
quite close.
It's a line which Hikaru plays pretty often these days. He played it against Magnus, I think. It's one of these Magnus Tour events.
Yeah, where he was kind of accused of playing for a draw.
Well, he is playing very solid. Yeah, I think he also had chances to overtake in some of the games. I think he played it with 11 also, but he is really, he is playing solidity first, and but it's really, popular but solid line. So okay, nothing new happened so far there, and we can play. Maybe we better go to another game first, because this game we can always return. Not so much will happen. B5, yeah. Alexander sharpens things up. Now things likely would become pretty forced.
Yeah, otherwise Nakamura could have played b5 himself, and then...
Yeah, it's one of the options, but it's hard to say if it's good, because then in the long run, white, it's will exchange 2 pair of rooks, then it will exchange queens, and black will be very passive. And basically black, again, what we just talked about in my book, that black position may be holdable for big part of the game, but then a certain moment white can also squeeze. Alexander, I remember, won a really amazing game in this line against Wang Hao in Olympiad in Khanty-Mansiysk. 2010, it was really game which was a model game for this line. And I think Magnus beat Hikaru, Hikaru beat Magnus. Also really amazing, impressive game. Magnus beat Hikaru, I think, in one of these. So to go really passive, it's pretty risky. So black normally tries to combine, passive play with sometimes active play.
So what do you think will be the plan here for black?
I don't know. It's already, it's becoming sharp. Here it's already we switch from the games which we play by plan to very concrete.
Yeah, so now already white has ideas to take on c6 maybe, and then to capture on b6.
Yeah, but also, white maybe has idea, some nice trick, knight d5 is a threat. Rook would take on d3, maybe white would take on e7, take on c6, maybe now he can do it. Maybe knight d5 is possible. Rook d3, knight e7.
And then take on c8.
Take on c8 and take on b6, and pawns are here. It's very sharp. Game can become really sharp. The moment I said that nothing will happen, it happened immediately. Yeah?
Wow. So it's not played yet, but it's likely that Grischuk is calculating it right now.
Yes.
Yeah, and already with the knight you cannot take on b6, so maybe black needs to play something like c5 even, but it's it looks sharp.
When?
After all the exchanges and knight c8, queen c8, and c takes b6.
Yeah.
So taking with the knight here would be
b6, and maybe we can play knight e5 and bring another knight into attack, or bc6.
Bishop
so many
d6 first, and then knight e5. Yeah.
Many possibilities. And also, I believe Alexander, if he sees it, he should go for it, because it's like it's not World Championship match. Yeah. It's a tournament where one enjoys himself. Of course, everyone is fighting, trying his best, but Alexander, I think, never refuses to go for a really big game.
Do you think playing these tournaments, if they have upcoming candidates, they will be playing any openings that they are working on, or they will specifically derail from any preparation and go for something completely different?
I think he would play something which, normally all the players have quite a big repertoire. I don't think if one can plan something for candidates and go on this second opening here. Yeah. That's what I feel. But of course, you never know, what decision players can make. Sometimes they get. But who is playing? Only Alexander plays Kent. Alexander Jan.
Yeah, Jan is playing Jeffrey Xiong.
No. But Jan is not in the from candidates.
Yeah. Jan, Grischuk. I think it's only two. Yeah,
only two. Seems like only two. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's why maybe they went for a quite a quick draw between each other yesterday.
Please remember me what it was. I don't remember. Okay,
they exchanged the pieces pretty quickly and went for some.
Yeah, it can be one of the reasons. Another reason can be that something went wrong with with preparation. Something went wrong with preparation and position simplified. Yeah, sometimes some just things go wrong for certain reason, but basically. But really, nice game, actually, Jan against Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm. So.
Because a very interesting idea. Jan played Queen B3 quickly, attacking B7 pawn, and Jeffrey reacted very. Some other moves are possible, maybe knight C6.
Yeah, bishop E5 is not very common because you normally
to give up this bishop, but very concrete decision. Because now, most likely, he wouldn't castle short, even though it's possible, but would castle long, but also his pieces are very well developed. He can also castle short because knight A5 can be a real threat then. Very original positional decision by Jeffrey, really well done. Really well done.
Yeah, but because now white can take on b7, or can they not?
On b7, probably knight a5 is possible.
No, maybe even knight b4.
Or even knight b4. Knight b4 is possible. They're calculating, yeah.
Yeah, so knight d before, and then the bishop is under
attack. Knight a5
and...
is not good, yeah. No, knight d before maybe.
Yeah, strong, and then the bishop is hanging and c2 is hanging.
And rook b8 is hanging.
Yeah. So that's probably the
So
move.
simply blunder, yeah?
So e5 is... But he did not take.
No, he played knight b4.
Oh, he did take. Played. Wow. So Nepo just underestimated this because...
Yeah. And I don't understand why he is blitzing with 19 minutes on the clock. It's really a mystery for me. Because that's what I said at the beginning. Yeah, after move 10, he is okay. He has 19 minutes, but basically he can resign, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe he has a trick or two here.
So now if bishop takes e6, then knight c2 first, and the king even cannot go to g1 because the queen is...
But maybe bishop e6 we can take f e6, because two threats, rook b8 and knight c2. We don't have to hurry with...
Yeah, so the queen cannot go away, and he has to probably to castle, or knight a3.
When? Rook b8?
Rook b8, and we have to give up the queen.
Queen, yeah.
Yeah, but this is resignable.
Yeah, it's really horrible.
So it's either a rook or a queen. Just one move.
Or I don't know. It's really resignable.
Yeah, that's quite unfortunate. But yeah, Jeffrey always has such tricks in the openings, which it probably even was a prep.
I don't think, because he was after Queen b3. I think he spent 6 minutes.
So and went for this very.
Yeah, probably he didn't expect. I think he knew what he was doing in Alekhine, but Queen b3 caught him on prepare. Okay, probably it's not the main move to. Which doesn't seem like too logical, but he found out.
So bishop b5, yeah, knight c2.
Yeah, king e2.
And now maybe simply castle and then take one.
Maybe now simply castle seems good enough. Or bishop d7 is good enough. Bishop c6 and knight d4, bishop c6, totally busted. Bishop d7 with idea knight 6 to d4.
Then yes, then knight d4 and take the bishop, right?
Yeah, but castle seems also good enough. Knight 6 d4 is a threat.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate for Jan.
Yeah.
Shall we look at some other games?
Yes. Let's look. A lot of interesting games in this round. Let's say Magnus seems very interesting. Magnus's game seems very interesting. It says that Magnus played this Philidor, which Daniel Dubov played against him and beat him. And I think in a chess-able tournament,
Yeah, back in like May.
Something like this, yeah, something like this. So, now with this COVID time perspective, it's totally different. I don't remember, was it April, May, June?
Yeah, time flies.
Sorry?
Time flies. It goes slowly, but it also flies. You don't really remember which month it was.
Yeah, last time I was in a tournament, it seems like a century ago, yeah?
Which was your last tournament?
I played Nutcracker in Moscow.
So it was December.
No, it was this year, it was March.
So okay.
They moved from December because I think it was...
Rapid and Blitz?
Rapid and Blitz, and before there were some other events, so they didn't want to make, this, people playing day after day, so they moved it to the dates where, okay, everyone thought we'll be able to play comfortably, but okay, COVID already started, but okay, we still finished the tournament quietly and nicely.
So it was about the dates which normally was like Tal Memorial.
Yeah, but Tal Memorial hard to say because it was in February, it was in June, it was in November. Okay, but okay, there is, I think, okay, many people complain that in chess calendar, some tournaments are switched from one moment day to another, no, stability, but from other point of view, I always think that it's better to have extra tournament in which, switches dates and no tournament whatsoever.
All right, so in this position, what about development of pieces for Magnus?
I don't know. He plays this b4, a4, but I don't know. I don't like his position so much. Probably he wants to play something like b3 or a3, and then, okay, with a hope to mate white's king. But
if there is no mate, then the position might turn around really quickly.
Yeah, h5, g5, knight f5, and it's white who will mate. Bishop will come to c4. Actually, I don't like black's position so much. Maybe, okay, it's not that desperate, because white knight is on b1. With knight on b1, I don't know why Lanier and move 10 played to b1, not on e2, or on e2, c5. Yeah, c5, yeah.
Maybe knight a4 was better.
Maybe knight a4, but then this I understand that he was reluctant to put the knight here because somewhere black will play bishop d7, c5, may take. He was reluctant to allow it.
Yeah, maybe knight b1 was then
it's rapid chess, so he, he decided to not to. Probably he thought it's Magnus's prep, so he was playing normally. So it's interesting. It's really interesting. Because so now Magnus started thinking, he thinking for quite a while already.
So maybe now he can push the knight away from d4 and maybe change the bishop to
c5, knight f5, and then get the knight through c6, but still white's bishop would go to c4, white will have open G line. I doubt. Okay, it's all okay, but I doubt that black is doing really well.
Yeah, did no one tell Magnus to develop his queenside pieces?
No, but okay, also, Magnus is playing a lot, so I notice he is trying to experiment. He goes to all different kind of positions. He is experimenting. He has a very, he played C5, very positive attitude.
So you think he is just using these events to practice different kinds of openings to experiment?
It seems so to me.
Mm-hmm.
It really seems so to me.
And yeah, do you think there was any player earlier in the century which has had just as much potential as Magnus did, or was Magnus like so far away, so far ahead of all the field?
Well, Kasparov in his peak was probably, but also Magnus is amazing. Just a second. Yeah.
Do you have someone joining us?
Yeah. But just a second. Wait a second. Hello. My son joined.
Hi from all the leeches. What is your name?
I'm Avnem.
Aha. Nice to meet you. I'm Maria. And I also have about 300 people here saying hi to you.
Okay.
Are you playing chess as well?
Yes, yesterday we played the game, and now we'll have lockdown, we'll play more regularly. Yeah? Yeah. But I think you want to go to sleep, and you want me. Да? Окей, через сколько ты уже идешь, и ты идешь? Давай тогда ты помойся, я закончу. Хорошо. Окей. Okay, so всем bye.
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 No, it's time for him to go to sleep, so he
we understand you will soon
Yeah,
need
so
to...
each evening we talk this, before he goes to sleep, we talk to each other, so...
maybe you read some book?
He reads a book, but also he reads by himself, and then we discuss with him and things like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, like in 10-15 minutes, unfortunately, I'll have to leave you because he asked me to. So I apologize. So let's.
That's a legitimate reason to leave.
Yes. Ishim, yeah, we have a good habit. He reads. Yeah. So let's look at the game of Levon.
Sure.
I think Levon had a good position. Two guys who did really well yesterday, yeah? Levon and Hari.
Yeah. So here was Karokan again. And this line is very popular with e5, bishop f5.
Yes, e5, bishop f5 is the main, but sometimes white include h4, h5 like Hikaru did yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And today we also saw the same.
Yes, but also on move 4, but also and Hikaru did it against Alireza.
Yes.
We saw, but also Levon plays it bishop d3 without h4, and I remember actually it's an interesting story. I think then when I was learning to play chess maybe in my first book, or at least when I was really small. Okay, it was game Nimtsovich Capablanca when it was said, bishop d3 ? The horrible play by Nimtsovich. they exchanged, and then, okay. But then, you know, they got the same position at move. Let me check what number of move it was. At move 7, and then they exchange, Nimtsevich exchanged queens, and then it says that white's position is already worse, and he lost. But in fact, I think maybe even after this, white's position is more preferable, at least the engine say it, but also it's possible to play differently. So it's not to undermine, you know, the level of Nimtsevich or Capablanca, but nowadays we learned much more about chess.
Yeah, so here, in fact, computer says that it's slightly preferable for white after queen a6 takes.
Yes. White has still more space, and no reason that white wouldn't be at least slightly better. But Levon played more ambitiously, queen d1, also understandable. He wants, you know, he thinks he has a solid center, so he'll develop pieces, and they'll start kingside attack.
So, yeah, so then he played knight g3.
Yes, he played all natural moves. I don't know, knight g3. Yeah, normal.
And then
move.
f4, f5.
Yeah, but probably Hari played f6. He weakened his position, but if he'll play like knight c6 and knight c3, then somewhere knight h5 maybe unpleasant.
So maybe he will have to play g6 instead of.
But if g6, it's already weakening. White can maybe maneuver his knight to a better position, or maybe play h4, h5 to weaken. Okay, still the question is what to do with his king. Because if the king stays in the center, okay, it's not that easy. If castle's long, he can be subject of attack, and also short can be subject of the attack.
And that's what happens, f5 now.
Yes. I had a similar position. I had, from totally different opponent. I had against Viktor Lasnichka. And I remember I was pressing through the game. He defended well, it was a draw. But I think I enjoyed my position, I remember. Yeah, so, yeah, well, okay. And Levon played, what's pleasant, he played basically all natural moves, yeah? He just brings pieces into attack, he brings pawn into attack, he's like enjoying. And the black's task is very difficult. Queen on a6, okay, it protects e6 pawn, but it's not a dream square. Knight on g6 is under attack.
Well, but now also bishop is under attack, so maybe white needs to...
White needs to play some clever move, maybe queen, I don't know, h5 or something.
Yeah, h5 or g4.
h5, g4, anywhere there, because black likely would take on g5 anyway. Queen g5, e5, knight f5. White's pieces are more active, d5 pawn is weak.
And maybe even h4 is coming next.
h4, yeah, you're totally right, yeah. I think it's a pleasure to play with white, and it's okay. Black has to defend, really make a real effort to defend.
Yeah, maybe some rook f7 and immediately h4.
Black will not be resigned. Black will not be resigned. It's a really playable position. In the meantime, Sasha Grischuk didn't take on d5, took on c6, and the game ended up in a draw pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's already a draw.
Yeah, but knight d5, it would be interesting to know if he spotted it or he didn't spot it, or he didn't rejected it for some other reason.
Yeah, he maybe decided that he doesn't want to risk it.
Yeah, it's a good question. Knowing him, I think he would never avoid, risk, but probably he didn't spot or he miscalculated.
But it's interesting, yeah, maybe here even he could have not taken on c8 after, but first bishop d6 and king probably...
Yeah, so many possibilities, Basically, legend says that Mikhail Tal would first take, on d5 and then start thinking. Maybe it's legends.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know if Sasha was calculating this, or he slightly looked at it and then rejected.
Yes, it's really interesting. And also, let's say, maybe we can quickly look at the game between Alireza and Wesley, this Petrov. I played quite a few games with this, so it's really interesting for me with this line. I'm not sure, maybe even the same position I played against Andreikin. I played this idea bishop d7. Also,
so until like move 11, you had the same position?
I think at move 10 I started with c5, but then I played bishop d7 and rook e8. But probably we transposed after move 12.
Yeah, it's the same, just different order.
Yeah.
And then bishop g5, h6.
I played h6, yeah?
So he played bishop g5.
Yes, let me. Okay, I don't have access here. Let me check. Because we played it in this mind games. I think it was a Blitz game. Then, okay, I missed a really beautiful win in it. Really beautiful.
So to which book did it go?
It would go on a book on Petrov. Yeah, I played h6. It would go to book on Petrov, likely. But probably if you'll write a book about tactic, it shall go. Because I made a really beautiful combination, but with the wrong purpose.
So maybe another book should come up, the tactical decision making.
Tactical, maybe. Yeah, well, we try to put it in dynamic. But
yeah, the dynamic, of course, kind of correlates.
We put it there, but okay, so it was after this. But okay, we'll find. I think we'll put it somewhere.
Oops. Yeah, so then it was...
But seems repeating moves, yeah?
Yeah, well, the queen went to g3.
But now after knight h5, he can go to h3, but I don't think it's so good, yeah?
Yeah, he probably will have to repeat. To h3 is a bit dubious. Can he go to h3?
He can, yeah. He can.
Take g6. And maybe g4.
Yes. No threat still, but maybe bishop d3 is a threat, yeah? Or maybe bishop g6 is a threat.
Yeah, bishop g6 also can be
maybe
possible.
black don't have to take. Maybe black would play something solid, yeah? But then knight h5 is strange. I would... No... Maybe he wants to force, yeah. Maybe d5 was simply possible. Always good to improve position. But interesting what Alireza would do. He has less time.
Yeah, it's...
Much less time. Wesley has 12 minutes, or maybe I'm wrong, yeah? Where can we see time?
Yeah, so Alireza has 5 minutes and Wesley has 12.
12, yeah. But it's interesting. Queen G... Queen G4 played. It's a pity.
Yeah, so they will agree then. Let's maybe quickly...
Lenier Magnus, interesting game, yeah. Yeah, Magnus found a really clever idea, yeah. He went c5, knight c6. Maybe, okay, he plays very clever. h5, knight d4. Maybe we underestimated his idea, yeah. That knight on d4 is very solid, and he wants maybe a3 or b3 somewhere. And not so easy to mate him on g line, because if white will double, he will play maybe king h8, rook g8. If h6, he will play g6.
Yeah, it's interesting how Magnus always proves us wrong with his decisions.
Yes. Yes, he feels potential. Probably he felt potential of his position, of this position.
Yeah, it looked like with this opened G file, it will be very, very, very dangerous for black.
Very deep. How to say? Understanding of position. Amazing.
Yeah, and this G takes a5 all happened like we thought, and then suddenly it's not so great.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have played c3 after a knight d4.
Yeah, but BC, and if you take with B, then King is weak, and knight c3, it's possible, but double-edged, because also, okay, we bring knight at least, we return knight into the game, but knight on d4 will be forever. B opens B line.
And a3 is possible.
A3, yeah, A3, B3, rook B8. Many possibilities. I think that, yeah, very, very deep. And now he coolly played H6, yeah? Simply like I have trying to say that white has no threats.
Yeah, your attack stopped, and my attack is starting. So
yes. And knight on B1 is really out of play.
Yeah, and black has
played,
so many
this
ideas.
line which maybe was, not so correct, but also it demanded very accurate and energetic play from white, yeah, and especially new position and rapid. So he was confident that it would increase his chances. It's really amazing.
Very interesting decision. Well, yeah, as you said, Magnus is experimenting and testing the waters, right? In all of the types of
and
positions.
He is right. Yeah, he has so many. He plays so many games, so he has so many possibilities. So he is using it, using them.
Do you think now there is any up and rising chess player which can reach the heights of Magnus? Anyone that is especially catching your eye?
It's hard to say. Because it's it's step by step. It's many young players, but to get to top 100, let's say, it's a very big achievement. Then jump to 2700, it's another achievement. Then 2750, it's another, and then try to be stable, top level player, and then try to become, reach the heights. It's all very, very, long way. And honestly, there are quite a strong generation of players who are like, say, 13, 14, 15 now, and who has amazing potential. But first of all, nowadays with this, lockdown, less tournaments, we have to see who of them will
continue.
Use this time as the best way.
But was someone specifically exciting for you before we ended this part of the year?
Well, hard to say. Well, from guys who are already mature players, we can see that Jeffrey and Alireza are ahead of their the only two guys who are in top 26, let's say in top 50
of this age.
But on under 20 guys, under 20. But there are some other Indians has a brilliant generation. Who else?
No, in Uzbekistan, the couple of players.
Uzbekistan, yeah, Abdusatorov and some other guys, especially Vincent Kamer. Andrei Yesipenko. I'm sure I'm missing someone. I'm sure there are more young guys.
Yeah, we will see if they if they not only spend time playing Bullet online, but also
yes. I am in contact with some of them, and I always tell them don't play Bullet. Work
don't
on
play
chess.
at all?
Sorry, Bullet, no. If you want to play Blitz, play long Blitz, play training games with your friends. But Bullet probably just develops bad habits. Play Blitz. If you want to enjoy, play Blitz. Why not?
So do you think playing Blitz, you can like polish up your openings?
You can polish up. You play training matches with someone else. You polish, yeah. Okay, I would advise to play, let's say, 5+2 or 5+3, yeah. So at least you learn something and you can still play a big number of games. Because if you play one game, of course, it's an important thing, but you want to play number of games to test. Play 5+2 plus 5+3. You still enjoy, you play a lot of games.
But you understand what you're doing.
You understand what you're doing. If you play 1+1, you're just throwing pieces. I saw some tournament, I think it was on Lichess, okay. Magnus blundered a piece, move 6. Okay, what's the point? And then I think he won or something, yeah. Okay, I think it's... And the other players I'm sure they didn't do better, so I don't think it was a... I don't see a point of it.
So do you think the Nepomniachtchi, he already lost his game, that his Queen B7 was the result of playing very fast games so much?
No, I don't know, because he always plays, As long as I know him, he plays very quickly, so just his style. Maybe it's a bad thing. Yeah, maybe it's not the best thing one can do, but it's part of his style. Maybe it's a thing he should improve, to play more, but
Same as Grischuk is always getting into time trouble. It's just
yes. I think it's more clever to have more balanced approach. But okay, everyone has his attitude.
So you think that bullet or even hyper bullet is harmful for your chess if you're a professional chess player and you're...
Yeah, if you want to improve, I think it's harmful. And beginning of that year, before COVID, I had been in India together with Vladimir Kramnik, having a camp with best Indian talents.
I know what you saw. I know what you saw. I know what you probably will say. Them playing in every single pause or time they will go online and play Blitz.
Yes. No. But each day, both of us start with the warning. Don't play bullet. Don't play bullet. And I know they will play. And I know it wouldn't change much. And they were asking, but if I play just 1 hour a day, is it okay or not? And if I play half an hour...
Negotiating.
And I tell them, okay, it's like,
it's up to you. It's up to you. But
eating fast food, it's not good. If you like it, you can eat once a month. It wouldn't be nothing dramatic would happen.
But they do it every day.
It's a bit bad habit. It can, tempt you to go more often,
Yeah, I was quite impressed. I'm not sure in which way I was impressed, but I saw how Pragananda and his sister both were playing bullet at the airport, and even during boarding, they still were like with their iPads and playing bullet.
On iPads they're playing, even without mouse,
Yeah, and when at the closing ceremony at Isle of Man, everyone is like with the cups and talking to each other, and they are just playing hyper bullet using the real chess with the clock, and everything is just pieces are flying around.
Yes, this I saw some other guys.
That's crazy, right? How they do it.
Yeah, absolutely, I remember I was eating something and okay, there,
the pieces flying around. I saw the same at St. Petersburg Rapid and Blitz, how there was Maxudlu, there was Pragananda, Andrew Tang, and they were all just...
Sorry? Who else?
Andrew Tang.
Andrew Tang,
And I think Andrew was the best in bullet. at least over the board bullet, because somehow, maybe because he is quite tall, so he was very quickly picking up the pieces, placing them back on the board, and again making the moves, and everything was super fast. So this is a new generation. That's hard to understand.
Yes. Okay, they have so many qualities that maybe even bullet will not destroy them.
Yeah. We will see how it turns out.
Yes. So many talented guys. Yeah, amazingly devoted, talented guys. Pleasure to watch.
Yeah. So we have this game, Dominguez Magnus. I know that you need to go already.
Yeah.
Would you like to watch it until the end, or we can also?
Well, we can see it until my son would come here. When he'll come, I promise him to go.
We honestly really hope that your cat will show up.
Yeah, but hopefully, but
maybe he can come with the cat, since he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, but then when he sees cat, he gets so excited. I don't like him to do in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a love story.
It's both ways.
Both ways, yeah. Well, what our cat allows him to do, it's he doesn't allow to no one. And when he comes home from school, let's say, first thing he runs to cat and hugging, kissing, and
You know what you need to do? You need to teach your cat to play chess.
Maybe.
And then your son will be the future world champion.
Yeah, so he'll be. I don't think he'll be. I think, but okay, he is enjoying. Yeah, what is he's enjoying? He is playing on iPad time to time, and he wants to play with me time to time. So
who's winning?
I am winning, but that's his problem. He understands he wouldn't win, but he wants to improve. He's playing better, yeah. But in my city, there is a good thing that in kindergarten and in first and second grade, they have chess lessons. So they had to. He went through these lessons at school.
Mm-hmm. And he is second grade?
He's nine.
Second grade. Or already
Sorry?
third? Is he already in third grade then?
He's on fourth. He started fourth grade.
Ah, wow. But they don't continue after the second grade.
No, but anyone maybe. But quite a number of kids go to chess club after this. I think around, more than 5%, which is, if you cover a lot of schools, it's quite a lot of
Yeah,
people.
5% is quite a lot for...
Yeah, but
for
okay, I
schools.
don't know. I spoke with the people from chess club. Somehow they were not impressed. But I told them, okay, it's a good number, yeah. But also in clubs, they have quite a good coaches. So everything in my city, things are going okay. Hopefully, not clear, but hopefully that, now we have holidays, but after this situation with COVID would be better, so it would be possible to continue.
Mm-hmm. But do kids, parents in your school know about you?
Yeah, sure.
And
sure.
you must be quite famous in the city as well.
Yeah. Sometimes, okay, they come on the street and says, okay, yeah.
Asking for an autograph?
Said some teacher came, some guys in the class, big fans of you as a hero. It's very nice.
So is it possible, did they make this tutoring of chess in the first, second grade obligatory? Was it your influence? Was it something that
No, I think it's just probably my name. It's Boris Alterman, Grandmaster Boris Alterman. It's his and his wife, okay, it's their idea, and they started, and they advancing each year more and more schools. Also, they talk to some other municipalities, so they join. So they're doing quite well. So
Yeah, that's
it's
fantastic.
their achievement. I give only moral support to them.
I know you are undervaluing your impact, but
no. I give them only maybe my name and but they do it by themselves, of course. If they organize some events for the kids, I always join and I try to help. But it's they are really working. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fantastic.
Some other guys from chess club are helping them. So it's
more kids hopefully will get into chess and
but through their program he told me around 100,000 kids already went through this program.
Wow,
100,000. I was amazed.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Amazing. And they have an app. Yeah, I think FIDE recently approved it also. Their app as so they're how to say, advancing to other parts of the world as well, which is good.
Yeah, great.
Which is good.
Maybe Magnus Carlsen can visit your city someday to give even more.
Maybe he was in my city. In my city, it was first World Blitz Championship in 2006, and young Magnus played.
Did he do well there, or?
I think he, as far I remember, he did around maybe 50. He was not in top 6. Probably he was small minus around 50%. But 2006, he was like 15.
16, 15.
Yeah. It was Alexander Grischuk won. So he won a Armageddon tiebreak against Peter Svidler.
Wow. Yeah, this also.
But they have been in my city, all of them.
Of course, it also gives impact on growth of chess in the city, having such big events and big names coming. Yes.
Vichy played, Judith played. It was that first World Championship had been round robins.
Amazing. Meanwhile, linear is very long time, but he managed to
consolidate.
Yeah, to solve some problems. I think.
Yeah.
This does look
but
kind of.
Magnus is long time. Magnus is okay. He is more than linear, but linear. I noticed, even with the seconds, he is, he is. He doesn't collapse. He plays okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
he is quite resourceful.
Yes, I remember we played this Blitz World Championship in 2008. He won it. And it was no increment, but with very little seconds, he was so quick. I remember.
He's also doing very well with the delay time. Oh, and as we talked about it, Rook B3 I think was winning for Magnus.
Rook B3 and if Queen goes.
And then D3 probably.
Oh, Queen E4, Queen E4.
And now. Rook B2, King B2, Queen B3.
D3, beautiful. Will Magnus find or not?
Yeah, D3, he did, yeah. Yeah, this idea with D3 is always in the air.
Yeah. It would go to textbooks for tactics, yeah?
Yeah, but this is incredibly difficult to defend.
Yeah. In the meantime, what's going on with Levon? Seems like Levon would win. I don't think Hari will be able to give up a knight for a pawn, or will he be? And we'll watch 2 knights against a pawn.
Oh, this will be probably long.
Yeah.
So now White King goes to F4, right? To take the pawn.
Wait. I moved to Magnus's game. So Magnus finished. So let's return to Levon's game.
Why is knight E4, knight F6 not an option here?
It is an option.
I think they are repeating the moves.
No. Here he will probably they're down to second, so they're just making some moves in order to
get some time. Yeah.
To get some time. Knight e4, but he'll play knight e5.
So now knight f3 probably is forced.
It's must, I think.
Yeah. So then knight e4, knight e5.
Oh, he played king c6.
To prevent knight e5, right?
But now knight cb5, knight f3.
And now knight f5 and knight
Still knight b3.
Yeah, it seems like...
He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, but now the knight are stuck defending each other.
Yeah, now he has to allow... Now he can simply wait king c4, king b4, and it's a draw.
Yeah, white cannot advance, right?
Yeah, what an unfortunate move.
Can he go for the pawn, but then he loses g3, right?
Yeah, it's too slow to go for the pawn.
And there is no Zugzwang.
Yeah, what an unfortunate move.
Yeah, so allowing this king to b4 was a mistake.
But objectively, yeah, he had to allow to take on g3 and show technique with two knights against the pawn. And taking in account that we play like 5 seconds increment, I'm not sure anyone will be able to win.
Yeah, it's a draw, agreed.
I remember Veselin Topalov won against Anatoly Karpov in blind with 10 seconds increment. But it's not so easy to follow. Yeah, unfortunately for Levon, he misses a win.
Yeah, but it's super difficult to play in such a short time.
Yes. No. We have to praise all the players. Yeah, they are showing with certain exceptions. Certain games are, maybe they're not do so well, but generally really good level of chess.
Yeah, and of course, especially Pentala is so well known for the endgame technique. I just cannot stop being amazed on how he saves nearly lost endgames and also finds a way to spice things up in equal endgames and winning somewhere you just don't expect.
Yes. He's very strong quality.
Yeah, he's very creates some complications, same as Magnus does in the middle game. Harikrishna does it in the end game. Yeah, very exciting round.
Very exciting round. Yeah. So who is leading now?
Okay, we can check the overall standings.
Where is it?
Let's see if I can find it. Okay, Magnus and Wesley are both on 3.5. And then Nepomniachtchi, Aronian and Harikrishna on 3. So they did not have so lucky day today.
Yes, but it's still one more round to go, right?
Yeah, one more round in Rapid today and 3 more tomorrow. And then they
start Blitz, yeah?
Yeah, and then there will be 2 days of Blitz, 9 games each day, 5+3. So that's the format that you like.
Yes. I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's good. It's maybe something between Rapid and Blitz, but I really enjoy it. Training games which I play, I really like this format.
Isn't it World Blitz Championship 5+2?
It was. I think now it's 3+2. Now it's 3+2.
It's 3+2.
Maybe there was something I don't remember already.
So which one do you prefer, 5+3 or 2 or 3+2?
I prefer 5+. I think one has to more time to build up good positions. Of course, to play on increment is an important thing, but I prefer when it's a chance to, to build, to think a bit.
Yeah, to be able to build, to analyze, and to
build, to build up positions. So, okay, so it's what.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can allow.
Okay, so maybe I have to go to my son.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank everyone and see you again.
Definitely, we will be very happy to see you again, and
yes, and enjoy the last round today.
Yeah, and you guys can always send feedback and new questions to me.
Yes, sure,
you can use my
sure.
Discord for that. Sure. And yeah, hope to see you soon. And
hope to see you soon. Bye.
Good luck and bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Boris. Yeah, the same rookie mistake. Yeah, if you missed the show, you can definitely watch it in the past broadcasts. Plus, if you want, you can also find the link to another stream that I did with Boris on my channel a month ago. We were commentating on another event with the top players, and yeah, he also talked more about his book on that stream, the book that is coming out soon. Actually, it's 2 books, but the one that I am especially looking forward to is Major Peace Endings. Not only because it's the photo that I made is on the cover, but because Endgames is quite a weak spot of mine, and maybe also many people can relate, many players can relate, because endgames are tricky. So this will be very interesting to watch. Okay, so I will see you in a few minutes with the 3rd round of today. Okay, I'm back. The sound is on, I think. Hi guys. Okay, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the visit of a legendary player, Boris Gelfand. If you missed any of it, you can see the video in past broadcasts. And now listen carefully. Tomorrow, at the same time as today, there will be another legend, a fantastic player. It's not yet announced, but it will be soon. And you can already start preparing your questions. You can send them in my Discord. You will be able to post it on forum. But tomorrow we will have a Grandmaster who also played enormous amount of candidates. He 3 times reached the semifinals of the candidates. He is an amazing trainer. He was commentating with me in Russian during the Olympiad. So if you were watching something in Russian, you might know. But a legendary Artur Yusupov will join me tomorrow for entire 3 rounds of the Rapid Games. And I hope it gets you very excited. Yeah, hey Lakin. Yes, so a lot of treats. Do we have already games nearly starting? I think so. So the games now will be Magnus Carlsen against Harikrishna. So Harikrishna is just half a point behind Magnus. So he definitely will not go for... No, wait, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's correct. I think I'm missing something. Yeah, so Harikrishna playing with black against Magnus. It's not gonna be an easy ride for Magnus. Then we have Jeffrey playing Levon Aronian. Yes, Yusupov is the famous author of Boost Your Chess series. Correct. Yeah, actually on Russian streams, everyone was saying we did not know that Ded Moroz also plays chess. And Ded Moroz in Russian is like a Santa for the Western world. And also in our Russian folklore, Ded Moroz always comes with his daughter, whose name is Snegurочка. So it's like comes from the snow. And so people kept calling me Snegurочка and him my Ded Moroz. So it was pretty funny because our Ded Moroz is always shown with like a beard and white hair and always smiling and happy, and that's that's how Yusupov is. So I was actually pretty glad that he does not read the chat, because I did not know if he will be upset about this comparison or not. But I'm sure he would play it really kindly and laugh it out. But yeah, it was really comfortable and easy to work with Yusupov. We had about 10 hours in total of commentary, and yeah, no, at no moment there was any like I think I cannot really be proud of my history knowledge, so I was sometimes feeling like I wish I knew more about the chess history, so I could ask better questions to him about his matches with Taimanov and how he played other chess grands. But he always was like, it was so comfortable with him. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. And I hope you guys will be there from the start, so you will be able to catch everything from Artur Yusupov. Okay, so we have another Caro-Kann, another the same variation. So now White is going for immediate castle with, and again we don't have h4, h5. The same as Levon did not have h4 in his game against Harikrishna. So yeah, Harikrishna actually is playing two games with black pieces in a row, which is pretty interesting, and it's pretty cool that both of them are going to the same opening and even to the same variation there. But Magnus did not play bishop d3, unlike did Levon. So he's going for a more complicated position, more positional game. Sorry, what? Are we already affiliate? Oh! That's the first hype train on the Lichess channel. Wow. Congratulations, Lichess. Okay, let's get this hype train going then. We cannot let it die. This is historic. If you are on YouTube, drop everything and go to lichess.org on Twitch. And don't miss the hype. Oops. Pardon me. Forgot to mute it. Okay, so g6, interesting. Harikrishna completely... well, of course, White is not gonna play h4, probably immediately they won't. And it's more likely that Magnus will go f4 here to defend the e5 pawn. And of course, after bishop g7, it's even more likely. Yes, also unlock the founder badge. To be the founder of the Lichess Twitch account is pretty cool. I'm gonna subscribe myself, although I don't have a button yet. I guess it happened just now. Now I can. Wait, let me do that. I want to do this historic. Okay. Also emote fireworks. What's happening? I've never seen the emote fireworks. I broke Twitch. Okay, guys, support the hype train. Don't let it die. Let me just maybe add some music. Yeah, I thought that when we were two of us, my music was probably a bit too much. But now why not? Okay. something like this. Okay, let's focus on chess. So here maybe black will go for f6 to try to get rid. They play fast. So okay, Harikrishna just got rid of the e5 pawn. And now the, white probably will try to get the e5 square for the knight. Potentially even exchanging maybe the bishop for this f5 knight to get rid of the strong knight of blacks. But so far it looks really comfortable for Magnus with a two bishop pair. Somewhat weak pawn on e6. After knight e5 also knight d7 will be a threat with the fork. But he probably doesn't want to go immediately. He might even be considering to exchange the bishop for this knight so that e5 square can be taken by the knight without possibility to trade it. Now let's check the other games. So here another Grunfeld, which started as King's Indian. Yeah, Jeffrey is pretty strong in theoretical preparation. So in this position, black might want to change the knight and put the second knight on d5, because both knights are looking at the same square. Makes sense to exchange one of them. And after trading, the bishop might find a place even on a4 after some queen e8 maybe and bishop a4. Or he simply can go for bishop d7, trade knight d5, queen b6 or queen a5, and then bring the rook to c8. Hey Firouzja. Yeah, hype train. Who would expect? Hey Firouzja, thank you for your sub. With so many subs. Lucas sub, something pretentious sub. Hi guys. Also Dirkie subscribed earlier. Sorry guys, I did not have all the chat. Yeah, I cannot see subscriptions in the chat that I had before. But thank you everyone for subscribing, and congrats on your founder badges. Yeah, it's a historical day. Thank you for the beats, Liam. Okay, let's remove all these arrows. So, yeah, let's think. What can Jeffrey be considering to play now? So he simply can go for a castle. Maybe he can consider a3 so that he can put the queen on c2 or d3 without any threat from the knight b4. Maybe even a3 b4. And if the knight takes, he will take with the rook. So he decided to castle. Now, if the knight will take now, then white might recapture with the pawn opening the b file. And of course the pawn will be potentially a weakness, but it also will defend the knight on d4, protecting the center and potentially even moving forward. 5 turtles. Thank you for the sub. Horsey. Yeah, we're all waiting for a horsey. Maybe tomorrow we can already have a horsey. Hey, Goose Cub, thank you for your bits. Yeah, the horsey will be probably even two horses. One is the official logo and one is the 1st of April logo. Five cats. Well, yeah, it's like Joe Brune's turtles and my cats. So he has 2 turtles, but here's 5 turtles. The level 5 is the final level, so we would need to reach the level 5 and then complete the level 5, and then it will be done. So it's 2 more levels to complete. So let's do it, guys. Okay. So we have e5. Now I see why computer was recommending bishop h4. But of course that's a very computer-like play to put the bishop on h4 from g3. You never play it in normal game. So another reason to not to look at the computer lines. Okay, so still the black can take and then play maybe bishop e6, because if they don't take, then it's possible that white will capture themselves, and then c7 square might become weak. Well, so far it's not a threat. Maybe even bishop e6 now, simply. Okay, let's observe some other games before we can get back to it. Wow, quite a big development in Nakamura and Nepomniachtchi. So it was Sicilian. And Nakamura pushing both pawns H and A. Play like Lila. So he pushes a5, preventing b5 from being played and also securing the b6 weakness. b6 and b7 squares will be under attack. So he wants to already put the bishop on b6 at some point, and he does. But then knight on d7 starts attacking the bishop. He decided to put the knight to b6. So white has this strong knight on b6. And in return, black got a bishop pair. Knight c8, you say, is a move to consider. Yeah, well, he is going through d7. Wow, c5. That's a very Nakamura move. So let's think. c5. So the knight can go back, right? And then take, and d6 is a weak pawn. He can take it immediately. But then b2 is also can be taken. But why? Okay, so if he took, then queen b6 check, and then take on b3, activating the queen. The other option that white had here is to play f6, blocking the bishop. And if bishop f6, then rook f6. And then take, take. And knight d4. Knight d4 he has because the bishop on b7, on g7 is not there anymore. So white gets 2 pieces for a rook. But this is very sharp. Okay, so all the founder badges were sold. Choo-choo. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thank you for your support, guys. Also, Amadeus Burrito, thank you for a gifted sub. Alright, so here black could have put the knight to d7 simply. He played to c8, slightly more passive. But he might have an idea to play to e7 and then b5. Queen e8. Yeah, Nepomniachtchi is always very creative with his play. So queen probably wants to go to a4, activate via this line. Yeah, so the other idea of knight c8 is to defend d6. Fair enough. So if white takes on d6, then knight will recapture. After queen a4, the knight cannot leave if the queen is not defending a5. So if, for example, white wants to activate the queen with queen g5 or queen f4, then queen a4 is a problem. You will need to go back to defend the knight. Something like this. So the queen becomes active, getting a hold of these squares. So it's a very good compensation for Nepomniachtchi in this position, despite his knight being on c8. The king is a little bit exposed, and with dark squared bishop, black can pose some problems for white. Bishop has e5 square, potentially can also create some problems here with d5, d4, rook d8. So the knight on c8, I start liking the knight on c8, which defends e7, defends d6. The only problem is the rook that is a little bit out of play so far. But once black consolidates, they might have a good advantage. The clocks, we cannot see the clocks because I made some moves on the board. Once we go back to the live position, we can see the clocks again. And yeah, white did play queen f4. And bishop e5 is pushing the queen probably back to e3. So he also wants to defend the d6 square by the bishop. And now, since the bishop is defending d6, the knight can go via a7 to c6 and start attacking this pawn. So yeah, we will see how this will develop. Now let's go to Wesley Grischuk. Here some simplifications happened, and Grischuk is in very deep thoughts with already 11 minutes less than Wesley has. But the position is pretty simple and close to equal. Wesley has slightly more active pieces, but his pawn structure is not very good for the endgame play, especially against the knights. A lot of play for the knights. He can go to g4, can reroute to f5, or maybe knight c5 and potentially to e4 once the knight goes away. So far white can improve the king's position, and black probably will try to exchange the rooks. But this position is likely to lead to a drawish endgame. Yeah, this stream layout is very different from my own stream's layout. Okay, I know everyone is excited for the Lichess horsey. The music is a bit depressing. Well, Pretzel calls it chill. I don't know how chill is that. Okay, let's put something happy. Okay, so King of 8. Yeah, let's leave Grischuk. Now Wesley is thinking. He has a lot of time, so we can come back. So Dominguez and Reza both did not have very good games today, so hope to see some good play here. So queen is leaving from this opposition against the rook, so that there is no d takes c4, which was already a threat, since the knight here is not defended. But if now black takes on c4, then the knight can recapture, which was not possible with the queen on d3. But now e5. Can black take on e5? Rook e1. There is definitely some serious counterplay for this pawn that white has, because their bishop is stopping the king from castling. There is always c6. C6 threat, so the knight cannot leave from f5, because then knight on f5 is not defended and is gonna be lost. So black will have to play f6. And then maybe white can consider playing knight f3. Although this is probably not a good pawn structure. Another option is to capture on d5, and obviously ed5 is not possible because of f4. So if they take with the rook, then white might have knight c4. Taking would lead to queen having to recapture, otherwise again the knight is gonna be lost. Oops. Oops. Sorry. So knight d4 instead. He decided to not to take and not to go to these complications. Never play f6? Well, if you don't want to play f6, then don't take on e5 in this position, and that's what Alireza decided to not to do. Yeah, Grischuk being in time trouble is completely normal. I don't think Wesley even pays attention to the time here. So white played bishop e2 here, and Grischuk replied with rook d8, forcing rook exchange pretty much, because of course moving the rook elsewhere would be bad due to giving so much advantage to black with taking control over second rank. Okay, here's knight d4, and white might consider going back to b2, attacking the knight. And the queen might go to c6 to stop the pawn from moving. Okay, let's go back to Magnus' game. It's always interesting what Magnus does. So the bishop pair here becomes quite advantageous. And maybe he will consider moving the bishop to d4. Although if he goes to e3, there is some tactics here. If we take, then rook takes on e3. Maybe white can take on a7. And if knight e4 back, then we can just go here. Yeah, it's a good position for Harikrishna. Oh. Suddenly it's losing. I did blunder something here. Yeah, so we cannot take on g7. So bishop d4 is a bad move. And then bishop would have to go back and take. Yeah, bishop d4 is quite a bad move, as it turns out. So white needs to be quite careful here. And we can see that Magnus went into a lot of thinking. Bishop d4 after knight c3. Apparently, due to the same mate ideas, this is losing. Well, it's actually simply a fork. Wait, take bishop d4, and then we simply have two pieces for a rook with completely exposed a file. So this will quickly go to some significant material loss. Like if white wants to trade the queens, black plays knight f2, and it's probably a game over. Yeah, black here will definitely win. Okay, so he played knight c5 after... Wait, did this happen? So Harikrishna did not play knight c3. I wonder if he underestimated his chances after knight c3. Knight c3, this was probably the main line, which would have happened. So he did not want to give up a7 pawn. Rook f1, knight, rook e3. So he went for uneven material. Now chat, which position do you prefer, for white or for black? We have rook and knight against the queen. White. The bar is telling. Yeah, the bar of course will be telling white. Simply because it's a queen. It's a position you'd lose from both sides. Yeah, likewise. No, the problem is that the king is pretty exposed, so it's hard to consolidate the pieces here. And so many pawns. If, for example, there were no pawns on the queen side, then the position would be quite drawable for black, because they simply can do fortress. The pawns are stopping any play of the bishop, and the dark square bishop is controlling all of the dark squares. But since these pawns are... well, this one is isolated. It will be very hard for black to defend. And I don't quite understand what forced Harikrishna to go for this line. Maybe he did not find knight c3. Because, like, after this, if he does not give up a queen, then he is allowing some strong counterplay here. Yeah, it would be two bishops for a rook. So after knight c5 and rook f1, he had to give up a queen. But yeah, here it's hard to imagine that he will be able to hold. Okay, so for example, the rook definitely needs to stay on e-file. For example, he plays rook e5. White pushes the knight. Happily exchanges. And this pawn is not a threat because the king simply will stop it. There is no queen for black that can pose any threat for the king. And also it's only dark squared bishop, so the king can simply use the light squares. While the queen goes to have some fun with these pawns. And how to stop the queen? For example, if the rook goes to e7, immediately the knight gets undefended, and queen d4. Some troubles already. And this loses a piece because the rook is on d7, it's undefended. So it's hard to find any consolidation plan for black pieces. Once the rook goes to light square, it will be attacked by the queen. The dark squares is a bit safer, but e7 we found is already bad because of queen d4 and the knight is hanging. So it seems like e5 is the only move. But then, yeah. Queen d7 and not sure how to defend. Rook e7, queen d5. And the king is coming, while black has no play at all. Black has more time. Well, in positions like this, Magnus does not need more than 3 minutes. Maybe even less. Because it's very easy play for him. He has pawns majority here, so he can push the pawns. He can potentially even attack on the king side. And it's black who needs to look out for some double attacks, for hanging pieces. And the queen is very flexible. And it's not even because Magnus is playing with white. Any of the players in this tournament would be happy to have such a position with white. Yeah, so he's going to c8. It's already a bad sign. he also wants to play b4 at some point. Yeah, b4 is already a direct threat. And if b6, then he probably will go to a8 or b8. a8 is because he can look for both pawns, and the rook cannot go to e7 because of queen d5. So a7 is already probably not defendable. a5 still will come with b4. And then he will take b6 after. Bishop takes g6 almost works. That's another thing to look out for, because once the queen is on c6, it's a threat because of queen takes check, and then if king goes there, then some losing pieces. Yeah, the queen is super strong here. My money is definitely on Magnus. In this position, not in general, but in this position. Okay, let's see. Jeffrey against Levon. So the position equalized pretty much. White rook is pretty active, so some rook c5. Does he want to play 4? This probably will all simplify pretty quickly. Takes, 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 takes. If king takes, then he can take the b3 pawn. And then b2 is hanging as well. But white is probably going to take the a6 pawn in return. So this probably will lead to a draw. With slight chances for Levon, since this is a passer, and white still needs time to create a passer on king's side. But some good drawing chances. Oh, I think music is really too loud. Okay, shall we look at the other games? And we can get back to Jeffrey Levon later. Here, not so much development. So we saw... we didn't see this game at all yet. Did we? No, we did with the knight to d4. Rook e1. Defending e5. And rook h6. Wow. So the rook comes to h6 and obviously going to g6. So how dangerous is this for white? The king probably will just find peace on g8 with manual castle. h4 is hanging. Potential threat of taking on g2. Yeah, I think Linier underestimated this threat. And this move, taking on d5, probably was too nervous, activating the rook. And now after rook g6, this is already direct threat. Maybe he has to play rook e4 now. Some really strange rook lifts here. But then after knight f3 check, black still can capture on h4. Queen e4 also doesn't work because of rook g4. Yeah, this all turned really quickly. Not sure how to defend this pawn. G3 of course also does not work, since the pawn is pinned. Maybe some counterplay for white. Instead of a capture, he could have played b4, b5. He has a pawn majority, so he could have used it to create one or even two pass pawns. Also the queen's position is really awkward there on a6, so using it was not a bad idea with b4, b5. Like this, Linear made it a bit easier for black. Opening up the d file plus getting rid of this pawn. So he played rook e4. Maybe his idea was to play knight d6. Was knight d6 here an option? King simply leaves and says, okay, so what now? Because if the knight takes on f5, then this knight takes back, and again the same threat. Plus the queen also will be able to infiltrate via d3. Boris went to sleep. Well, Boris first went to sing a lullaby to his son, which is a completely understandable. So we could not keep him any longer, and already appreciated his time that he dedicated. And if you would like to watch what you missed, you can go to past broadcasts and watch the video with all the questions that Gelfand was replying. Plus, yeah, you can also watch another stream that I had with Boris earlier last month, where he spoke a lot about his upcoming book and other things about chess. Okay, so after rook e4, Alireza is finding a way. So, well, oops, knight f3 is obvious choice here. He also can play knight d2 afterwards, forcing the strong knight. The only strong piece of white at the moment is the knight on c4, to exchange it to the knight, to activate the rook on d2. And then queen will come via c6, attacking the rook. Oops. Attacking the rook on e4 and the pawn on g2 with the mate. So this is a very potentially good position for black. Linear will need to look out for a lot of problems. Yeah, the black king is not having any issues there on e8. There are no pieces around it to defend, but there is nothing that can attack him. And that's why I like the idea with b4, b5 and some opening up, because then all the pieces of white would have started playing against the king. And with capturing cd5, Dominguez really gave up the only ace in his sleeve here, giving too much counterplay for black. Also, once this knight is away, there are some threats with the other knight coming here and already going for some forks. So white will have tough time finding consolidation of their pieces play. Well, pretty much over. I wouldn't say so. So he captured. He decided to capture. Of course, the rook cannot recapture because of knight f3. But this knight is still pretty strong. This does look quite dangerous, but for example, if the king goes to h1, now the knight is hanging, so black has to go back. And now white has knight d6. King... maybe king d7. And then the second pawn might start going. Could you play rook g2 instead of taking on h4? Here. But the queen is so far away. There are not enough pieces to mate. Ah no, instead of them moving the knight back. Rook h4. So we gave up a piece. And the rook is now hanging. What to do? Probably f2 hangs too. But then queen g1 comes with attacking g7. And it's probably not enough time for black. This knight is suddenly stopping the queen from coming to help the rook. And after we move the rook away, there is already attack that is probably deadly for black king. Yeah, something ambitious here. But yeah, you're right. The position is full of attacking possibilities. Some tactics here and there. So instead of king h1, he played g3. And it's now really dangerous. I'm not sure why black did not play h4. Did he think that it's not enough for attack without the queen? Maybe he did not like knight d6, but once the knight is away, the queen comes to play. Maybe it's first like knight e2 and then queen d3. Or knight e2, rook d2. It's just so much that black can do if the knight leaves from c4. And h4 looked really dangerous. Because h3 and king cannot take because of knight g5 and taking the rook. So this combination of the knights is really strong. So instead he played queen c6. Here white again had an idea of b4, b5. And again he's not playing h4 here. No, I'm not yet a GM. This might end in a draw, which would be very disappointing, but I understand Alireza, he is very low on time. It's very hard for him to play here, because even though he has very strong pieces and some attacking chances, but his queen is cut off. And playing without a queen is not so easy. It cannot come to play. Oh, and it seems like he lost on time. Yeah, that's such a pity. And we would expect that Alireza is so strong in low time, because he is so good at shorter time controls. But it's incredible. It's not the first time he is losing on time in this tournament. And in the previous one as well, right? I think he also lost on time against Kasparov. He lost on time against Kasparov in 960. Yeah, he's not having a good day. I'm sure he would have played h4 here instantly if he was playing a regular Blitz game. Right, let's look at the game Nakamura Nepo. Oh, okay. So I think out of all of the games I saw of Nepomniachtchi in the last 10 years, some maybe 20% there was unequal material at some point, and most of the time it was with a queen. So either he had a queen against a lot of different pieces, or he was giving up his queen against some material of the opponent. So yeah, this is very common for Nepomniachtchi to play like this, especially when he was younger. Sometimes it just feels like Nepo is bored from normal games, and maybe that's why they are also on such a good terms with Magnus, because as Gelfand said, it feels like Magnus is just trying different new ideas in the openings, in the middle games, and just tasting what he can do against his opponents. So let's see how this happened. We see that white pieces have a lot of play. Yeah, rook on b8 was out of play for a long time. And here he took on f4. And I'm not sure why. His queen... Is it possible it was a mouse slip? Because he is in such a good position. The bishop is hanging, and there is obvious queen check and take the piece. And it's an extra piece plus super strong knight. And he can go, like, also the knight is hanging. More to do with the knight. Plus this rook is pinned. It feels like it was a mouse slip. Certainly, with all the pieces hanging here, he would not think about giving up a queen and going for just slightly better endgame. So if he mouse slipped, then it's very lucky that he is not losing after this. Takes, takes. Okay, so bishop d3. Yeah, but with the queen on h6, I could not even see any counterplay. Like, okay, you have some queen g6 threat. Oh, he just won? Did he mate Nakamura or something? Take, rook g3. This seems like slightly better for black, but how to win? The queen is just gonna check, check, and... Oh, it's a mate. It is indeed a mate. Simply rook g6, and he has to give up a queen. So, what was the mistake here? I don't even know. So, Nepo simply knew that the endgame will be winning for him regardless, because like if you just look at this, queen is always a queen, right? But maybe Hikaru underestimated this position. Maybe he should have put the queen on g5, preventing these pawns from advancing too far, because g2 is still defending the king well enough. He saw the mate when he gave up his queen? I don't think so. But yeah, I understand that in the position where the queen was on h5, there is a threat of queen takes g6 and rook h4 mate. But then when you take the bishop, the threat is gone. And the rook cannot go on h4 threatening the mate because the queen will take on h6 and it's just a free piece. Plus the knight on d4. So it did look a bit dangerous at this moment, but since it's all forced line, this looked fine. He set a sub button. Sub button with a discount, yeah. Yeah, this game deserves a hype. Nepo is such a strong player. So is Nakamura, of course, but the way he played this endgame is also fantastic. From this moment on, he already was creating this mating net. But of course the mistake for white was to go with the king. Yeah, to allow this. Maybe already here he needed to run with the king. For example, if check, the king already runs away. But then the rook can take on a5. Well, I mean, you are a sub by default, but founder? No. Of course you don't have a sub button. You cannot subscribe to yourself. Identity crisis. Okay, so Wesley drew with Grischuk, which was predictable here. Yeah, they did not play for long. Jeffrey drew. And what did we miss here? Okay, rook e3. So here he did play b4, and the knight didn't even go on e4. He decided to try to keep the knight, but then d5 gets vulnerable. And okay. Here he admitted that the rook is gonna be lost. So he has to give up a knight. So Magnus won a pawn, which is a very important d5 pawn. And here, of course, this is not gonna be very difficult for the world champion to convert into a full point. So just because he missed this knight c3, this seems like it's the only moment where Harikrishna made a mistake. Let's go back to that position here. Knight c3 was leading to an equal position. Can you get a cat camera on the next stream? Well, we will have a fantastic player, Grandmaster Artur Yusupov. So, do we need a cat? Well, he actually has a cat as well. So maybe we can see a Yusupov's cat. So tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. European time. It's 6 p.m. UTC, 11 a.m. Pacific time. We're gonna see you again at this channel. I will not tell you to subscribe. I will not tell you to give bits, but it's up to you. But I think it's fantastic news that we are now affiliate. I think this is the first step to getting the stream being more flexible on the screen dimensions, so you will be able to reduce the stream quality. If you are on the phone, you will be able to watch from the phone without losing so much data. So that's great news. Maybe some background design too. No, I love this design. Why is he not a mod? Well, we need more mods. True. Who needs a cat? Well, it can be dangerous, but if you rewatch the video from earlier, there was some really funny moment which led me to actually having tears during the stream, because at some point Lucia was like holding a ball in her mouth, and she was making so strange noises. I thought something happened to her, because I've never heard her doing these noises, and yeah, that moment really. I was not giggling, I was dying from laugh, actually. It was really funny. She was super funny. And yeah, also, you're right, guys, it was really sweet how Boris first of all asked, but is she okay? So he was really concerned for a cat. And he wanted to make sure that she was fine with that sound that was coming up. Okay. If any of you still are feeling like hanging out, I'm gonna, surprise, raid. Oh, I don't have this permission. Oops. Let's do it another way. But yeah, if you still feel like hanging out, I will see you at my channel. So we're gonna raid ourselves. And I will see you again tomorrow on lichess.org together with legendary Artur Yusupov. And I will see you on my stream in a bit. So, bye everyone. See you tomorrow.